All right. So I have finished my 7-day cleanse. I'm back to eating whatever I want. Just kidding. I'm not going to eat whatever I want. I noticed so many amazing improvements, and especially with my eyes. Like, I do not want to go back to eating crap at all. Like, I don't want to have anything out of a box or a bag because it really, really makes a difference. I'm able to read things a lot better. I'm still not perfect because I still am, struggling in this eye, but and I still have that like this double vision thing a bit, but the pressure has gone away, which is feels great, and I like not smelling. I know that sounds so silly, but I like having clean smelling feet and clean smelling pits and clean smelling mouth, even. That's a huge difference too. Just like a lot of people's nasty breath issues are not from fruits and vegetables, they're from like animal fats and additives and preservatives that the teeth sugars that are just like eating away at the teeth, and you're not smelling like, well, you're smelling the foods breaking down in the teeth. um yeah, it's just I'm glad I like not and I also noticed, and I didn't even realize till yesterday, that I didn't burp or fart all week long, which is wild because everyone talks about how much like vegetables, especially certain vegetables, will make you fart. But I didn't fart at all. I think I'm starting to think that burping and farting is your body's way of like working overdrive, trying to process things that are hard to process, and it's expelling gas. Um, like gas is a byproduct or something from that process, but because my body didn't have to work hard to digest anything, um, I didn't fart or burp literally all week long. Like, how weird is that? Thanks, Shaklee 7-day cleanse. Anyways, I did have some weird like tummy stuff. Like I would hear my tummy, I would hear it first off. That was weird. But the only times I heard it were when I would like do a little tiny bit of cheating. I know there was one night that I was working and the person had made some fried rice with sausage, and I'm not supposed to eat pork because my body doesn't process it well. And of course it was it was pork. So I ate like giant spoonful. It was a big spoonful because it was really good, of fried rice, and that kind of made my body make weird sounds. Um, so that, and I think another time, oh my gosh, I made my son macaroni and cheese, and it was Annie's shells. So it was like the good stuff, if you can say anything in a boxer bag is good. But I had eaten literally 2 shells. Like, it was the smallest bite ever, and my tummy made noises trying to digest that. So I'm actually going to take this next week, since I essentially made an elimination diet super easy because I took these supplements. And again, like, that's one of the things we learned in nutrition school that is honestly the best way to find out what foods are affecting you, is by doing an elimination diet. And elimination diets are really, really tough because you're going from eating whatever you want to minimizing your food down to like a few key items. And different people have different theories on what you're supposed to go down to begin your elimination diet. With me, it was, I think with all these supplements, it just made it so easy. So my body didn't go through all these weird things of like withdrawal symptoms, essentially. Because that's why kicking sugar is so hard, because you're literally going through withdrawal symptoms. You're getting all these mental games in your head that are like, I need it, I need it. But because I had all these supplements that I paid for, it made it like, it just made it so easy. It was just like, oh yeah, I'm not having any of these weird mental games. And that is honestly the biggest part. It's like they say 80% mental, 20% physical. That's pretty much true. Although I might even argue that it's 90% mental, 10% physical, because it's like that much of a thing. But I didn't have that at all because I had these supplements. So I think because I've pretty much started myself on the right foot for an elimination diet, I'm just going to slowly introduce foods. Now, when you do an elimination diet, you can't just like slowly introduce like a new food each day. You have to introduce, because your body typically takes several days to process stuff. But again, with this cleanse I did, my body is pretty cleaned out since I was taking laxatives every day. And so I'm I'm processing stuff within like a day and a half ish, I think. So basically cut in half of what it was before. Instead of 3 days, it's a day and a half. So you need to give yourself enough time. A lot of times they say 2 weeks, but I think I'm going to do like a 5 day thing. So I'm going to, introduce oat milk. And if I'm good in about, 4 or 5 days with that, then I'll introduce another thing. But I'm pretty much going to stay on this fruits and veggies train. I have a feeling I will not be able to ever reintroduce pastas back into my life. And that's just a fact of life. My body just overreacts to, well, it's the gluten thing. But I think even more than gluten, it's the sugars and the pastas, honestly. I know that when I would eat pasta, I'd have, you'd have the like stinky breath and stuff. And oh my gosh, even when I'm talking about the no stink, even in your nether regions, that the smell, like just whatever smell would be there, it just goes away. The pee doesn't smell like, sometimes when you eat different things, your pee will smell really funky or really strong. Like I know when I drink coffee, I get a similar smell in my pee that's to when I drink alcohol. It's a very similar smell. And that right there is telling me my body's not having an easy time with that particular thing. So coffee is no more in my life. But I've gotten used to, I mean, after drinking herbal teas all week, and honestly, I mostly have been drinking herbal teas anyways, but I was drinking black teas. So I think that'll be another thing I might introduce, is how I do on the black tea. But really it's probably, I'm going to end up just staying with herbal teas, which is fine because I love red tea. It's actually my favorite above black tea, I've decided. Um, and mushroom tea. Oh, I love mushroom tea. That didn't have no effect on me. That had a positive effect on me. Like a lot of the stuff that I was eating this week just had no effect on me, which was fabulous because that's what you want. You don't want to have like all these negative effects that all these other foods have. But the mushroom tea actually had a positive effect. Like I could feel my body just like sinking into place of like, oh yes, this is good. Kind of how green tea will affect some people. I'm not as good on green tea, but I'm fine on green tea. It's just I'm thinking black tea might have to go away. Like, but it's not like coffee. Coffee will actually like, I don't do good on coffee. And I actually took a gut test that told me like coffee is one of my like top 5 foods to avoid, which is sad when you were a coffee snob for most of your adult life. Like, and I was an actual coffee snob, beer snob and coffee snob, like had to be fine quality, had to be pressed correctly, because if you do it too hot, you don't get the proper oils. And, that's where the flavor is. Like I was a snob. So it's wild to think of myself like in my 20s and 30s as an actual coffee snob. And now in my 40s, I'm like not having it ever again. But that's okay. That's okay. I don't know. Maybe I'll cheat with the occasional espresso, every once in a while because, you're allowed to live. It's just a matter of like keeping your body as healthy as possible. So that way you can have those cheating moments. But I also found another interesting thing. Yesterday, when I was watching uh, uh, this one child, she was on her tablet watching some stupid YouTube video, and they were cutting into this cake that was like this monster sized cake, and it was one of those rainbow cakes, but it was pastels. It was really pretty. And my first thought is, oh, that's pretty. And my second thought was like, that's just utterly disgusting though. Like watching them, and she's like biting into it with her, like not using utensils, just like, ah. And I'm just like, that, like my teeth were honestly hurting just watching the video. And that right there made me know, like, okay, I'm good on the sugar thing. Like I don't ever have to go back to sugar. And this is going to be fabulous because, and I know the holidays are over now, but when the holidays roll around again, even Easter is a candy. Oh, phew. Valentine's Day is a candy holiday. Easter is a candy holiday. Halloween's a candy holiday. And Christmas is a candy holiday. Like, I think Thanksgiving is the only holiday that's not a candy holiday. And I can easily make pumpkin pie without sugar. As sweet as fruits and vegetables are tasting to me right now, I'm I'm gonna be totally fine making like sugar-free desserts. It's gonna be awesome. Maybe a touch of honey or maple syrup every once in a while, depending on what the dessert is. But I'm that made me happy when I was getting grossed out watching that cake video on YouTube. That really solidified that I have cut the sugar addiction. There's no need to go back. It's like alcohol. You can go to rehab for alcohol. They'll give you whatever they give you. I don't know the details to cut those cravings. And now that your body's off the craving of alcohol, the only thing that'll mess it up is if you have a drink and then you're right back in that addiction. So I know that, the only thing that'll mess me up is having some sort of sweets, and that's not gonna happen. So I'm really excited. I am 100% like, I'm like 150% satisfied with the Shaklee 7-day cleanse. Like, super, super happy with that. So if you want more information, you can just click the link below, hook yourself up. You can just buy the cleanse, or even better, you can do the Ready Set Wellness Kit, which that's what I did, was the Ready Set Wellness Kit, which came with a host of all sorts of things I could pick. And the 7-day cleanse was one of the things that I picked. So, that I definitely recommend. But dude, you got to try it for yourself. Like, this was such an amazing experience. And like I said, it just really made it easy. When I've tried DIY detoxes in the past, it's a lot of mind games, and I didn't have to deal with any of that. So, and then yeah, just sleeping a normal amount of hours during the night this week was weird because I have been oversleeping for months now because of depression and whatnot. And it was just like, not an issue this week. It was like, if I go to bed, I'm waking up 8 hours later. I'm actually out of bed. So that was really, really neat. I highly, highly recommend it. Can't say that enough. All right. Click the link below. Just check it out. You're not going to be you're going to be happy. You're going to love it. End of story. And dude, if you want to let me know too, if you try it out, and let me know what your thoughts are, I would love to hear them. Make some videos too, like I did. Do it. The more healthy we all become, the happier we're all going to be, and the more of a positive difference we can make on this world. And I am 100% behind that. All right. Cheers.